Welcome back to this week's midweek mini episode of the Well House Exorcism. This is your ghost of a host with the most, Shanna.
It's Puckwa PJ.
No. You've been lazy the past couple episodes.
It's Puckwa PJ.
There he is. Now, before we begin, I have a joke for you, Puckwa PJ.
I'm ready.
What did the ghost boy say to his ghost father?
What?
Do humans really exist? There you go. This week is episode 15 of our midweek mini episodes. And for this week, I want to head back to my home stomping grounds. We've been talking about Lizzie Borden a lot in New England. So I figured we could just hop on over to New Hampshire, the good part of New England, for this episode. All right? And you're going to learn something today, boy.
I'm ready.
Excellent.
To learn. Tonight.
This evening.
On the WB.
Oh, boy. No. We are not syndicated with them. We do not get paid.
They don't exist anymore, that channel.
My references for this evening are only two places. Cryptids Fandom and NorthAmericanCryptids.com.
Cryptids. Again?
Well, I wanted to do something special with New Hampshire, and Carrie actually helped me pick this one out.
Oh, boy.
We made our choices for up through the end of July. So to start off, PJ.
Yes.
I want you to imagine.
Don't tell me what to do.
I will. I'm your wife.
Oh.
I'm the ghost of a host with the most. You're just Puckwa PJ.
You know, I don't have to be.
Didn't we decide you're the co-host?
The host, right?
The co-host. Anyway, to open this episode, I want you to imagine yourself in the beautiful northern pine forests of New Hampshire.
Okay.
Maybe
I'm picturing the Pine Barrens.
That's New Jersey, but okay. These are more lush, happy pines, not the Pine Barrens. Maybe you're out there on a hike, or you're just walking through to enjoy a lovely, beautiful day. The sun is twinkling through the leaves above, the wind is playing with the ferns at your feet, and overall, you have a sense of peace and tranquility.
Okay. Sounds good. I'm ready. Let's go.
But
watch out for the ticks.
Just then.
A tick.
No.
The tick.
Not as scary.
In the blue suit. Yelling spoon.
But just then, you see a flash of gray right ahead of you on the trail. It was only a flash, but you know you saw something.
It's Quicksilver from the Marvel movies. All right, case closed. Wrap it up.
As you begin to search for what this is, you suddenly realize it has been in front of you the whole time, standing so incredibly still, you thought it was a tree.
Oh, it wasn't Quicksilver.
It was slow platinum?
It was Drax.
Oh, boy.
Standing so perfectly still.
As you begin to look up this gray monster toward its face, it lets out an inhuman scream, turns and runs and leaves, leaving you alone once again in this New England forest. There you go.
So it's in front of you all the time.
And once it realizes you see it, bye!
What is this?
Well, it's funny you should ask. This is called the wood devil.
Okay. Sounds very devilish. Truly evil.
It screams loudly. Like a devil.
In terror. As it flees.
All right. The Wood Devils of Coos County are located in Coos County, New Hampshire.
Where's that?
Who would have thought? Now, the fun thing about this place, Coos is spelled C-O-O-S, so it looks like it should be Coos, but technically the second O has the umlaut on top, the two dots.
Oh, okay.
So it's Coos. So people who aren't from the area pronounce it Coos, and you're like, that's adorable. You're wrong. You ain't from around here. Anyway. The Woods Devil has a long history of sightings and legends in New Hampshire, which, for Coos County, is the largest and most remote county in the state. The name Woods Devil may have originated from the lumberjacks who worked in the area in the 1930s, who gave it various nicknames such as Glutton, Indian Devil, Quick Hatch, Nasty Cat, and Skunk Bear.
Skunk Bear?
Yep.
Oh, we have a skunk ape and a skunk bear?
Yep.
I'm ready.
These names reflect the creature's ferocity, cunning.
Ferocity?
Depending on the story.
Okay.
Cunning, stealth, and smell.
Hmm.
Who would have thought?
Well, okay. That
Now-
explains the last one.
Now there have been
The header
reports.
is high all the time. I don't know.
Now there have been reports about them since the early 1900s.
Is that why he's skittish? He's just paranoid.
Please stop. However, since 1970, these reports have started to taper off. Many think it's because they have gotten better at hiding.
He needs to just find the squonk and they need to live together.
Be best friends forever.
Squonch? Squonk?
Squonk.
Squonk. Okay, yeah.
Didn't you do that? You did the whole thing on the squonk.
No, Squonch is from Rick and Morty. Yeah, never mind.
They can find Skunk Ape. They can hang out because they smell the same, so.
One will cry, the other will hide. It's fine.
Winning. If the squonk cries, it just disappears. We don't want that. Because then Skunk Bear will be sad that he doesn't have any friends. Yeah, we don't want that.
Skunk Bear just sounds wrong. I don't know. Skunk Ape has a
ring to it?
Yeah, it flows. Skunk Bear just doesn't.
Then we'll call him the Wood Devil.
Yep.
All right, so what are Wood Devils? Now, as I said, they're called either Wood Devils or Woods Devils. I don't know why we do Wood
Because
Woods.
they're in the woods.
I guess, but either way, they are Bigfoot-like creatures-ish that inhabit only the New Hampshire area. So we get the squonk, they get Wood Devils. Okay? What is interesting is that this creature tends to live in groups, not alone, like your usual Bigfoot. They're friendlier with each other, I guess. Wood devils are said to be tall, ranging from 7 to 9 feet, so similar to a Bigfoot. They're also skinny and covered with shaggy gray hair, which sometimes ranges to like a tan gray color. So kind of wolfy kind of color, do you know?
Yeah.
Now the fur is shaggy, but it's thin, and it's all over their body, kind of like a Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But it's not thick like Bigfoot. So it's a scraggly, thin, long, shaggy, funky hair.
Yes.
Okay. So looking good so far, I guess.
Bigfoot with mange.
Yes.
That's why they hide. Don't look at me. I'm not covered.
But their slenderness also sets them apart from the Bigfoot or a Sasquatch, because we tend to see Bigfoot and Sasquatch as being kind of burly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these guys are super skinny. So even though they are thin, they surprisingly still weigh about 299 pounds, according to one website.
They're tall, yeah.
Yeah. Added to this, they do not look pretty.
Well.
Reports say they have horse-like faces, which include a long snout and very small beady eyes. They also have very large feet and hands, and on their hands and feet they have these like long claws or nails, if you will.
I'm picturing, you never grew up with the movie, but you've seen it. The Bigfoot from a Goofy movie.
Okay, yeah.
Because he has the really big snout and the tiny eyes. And
yeah, they have pictures of these guys online. You can look it up. They do not look pretty.
All right.
You're doing great now.
All right.
Now, something else that's important to note, as I've already mentioned, they are super stinky, hence their nickname Skunk Bear. So you can smell them coming, and you can smell them running, I guess, in that case, because they don't hang around.
Google AI says a skunk bear is another name for a wolverine. So I'm just saying all these sightings are just wolverine sightings in America.
Wolverines do have long claws, but no. Anyway. Now, the Wood Devil is also very elusive and stealthy. So similar to Bigfoot. And they use their trees to hide from humans, and they will also stay perfectly still when there's no cover. So, yeah, kind of like Jax. I'll stay so still. In this way, people tend to think they're just another tree in the woods, and they tend to not notice them. And again, that gray, right? So it kind of just blends in. Yeah, they're not good looking.
This drawing. Oh no. I can't. His eyes.
Oh, he just wants a friend.
I have this picture's going on Facebook.
I love that in the middle of my reading. I know, I saw it. I'm like, there are better drawings of these things.
When that guy across the bar sees you.
Stop. Aw.
How are you doing, little lady?
I like how I'm trying to like work through my script and be like, oh, look, a picture. All right. So anyway, to quote one source, quote, an unusual trait, slightly similar behavior to the hide behind or even the whirling wimpus, is that this Bigfoot uses the trees to hide. It is said that these creatures will hide behind a tree when a human is coming and stay behind that tree until the coast is clear. If there is no cover to hide in, the woods devil will stand perfectly still, which I think is kind of funny. A fun fact about that too, the wood devil is actually known to rotate around the tree until you disappear. So, like, if you're walking towards it, it's going to, like, you know, walk around the tree.
Yeah.
Like you see in all
like
the
a
movies.
4-year-old will do.
Yep. But it works, apparently. Now, as I mentioned, again, if there are no trees, they will stand up straight and remain motionless, hoping that it's not seen, which is, so these must not be very smart creatures because you can see them. Now, if it is discovered, obviously it will let out that blood-curdling scream, and that will hopefully terrify whoever has seen this, and then it's going to run deep into the forest and disappear. Now, a fun side note for New Hampshire, a lot of outdoorsmen, hikers, and others alike have described hearing screams of these creatures echoing through the hollows of Coos County. Its loud screams or howls echo through the hollows, which, of course, could be a territorial display or a way of communication, but it could be misconstrued with, like, you know, other animals that scream in the woods or sound like they're screaming.
Yeah.
So, but again, it does kind of like ricochet. It echoes off the different parts of the hollow of Coos County, which is kind of cool. And it's a very desolate, like, you know, well, not empty because it has forest, but empty of humans.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of, like, wood for it to bounce off of and rock. So now the second picture you found, much creepier than the first one.
Yeah, it looks almost like a Viking drogger.
Mm-hmm. I also kind of saw it as
the whites from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that I'm thinking there's another, like, skinny, like, almost like a the Wendigo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, kind of like some drawings with the antlers, you know, kind of similar to
Yeah.
that. So I would not compare it to a Bigfoot. I mean, it's good tall. It has shaggy fur, but very, very
got
skinny.
big feet.
It's got a funky face.
Yeah.
It got big feet. It leaves footprints. So anyway, the reason why they could possibly be terrible for you and hurt you, depending on the source you're in, because I read over a couple different sources, their diets are very different. So according to one source, their diet probably consists mostly of fruit and small game animals, along with some insects that they find inside the forest. So no, they shouldn't
So
eat...
black bear.
Yeah, they shouldn't eat humans. So it's a good thing for all the hikers out there. Added to this, wood devils are very territorial, but they usually don't harm humans, as far as we know. But it is important to note that hikers have gone missing in their territories. That could be because they're bad hikers and got lost and got hurt, or, you know, maybe they got eaten.
Well, from the sounds of it, you know, the hikers would hear, like, could you please leave? Yeah, please. I have kids.
Another source stated that wood devils are carnivores, and they feed on small animals such as rabbits and rodents. They also stated that the wood devil scavenges on carrion, so dead animals, especially during the winter when food is more scarce. They may also raid garbage cans or livestock for food, so, like you said, like a bear.
Mm-hmm.
So one is like, yeah, they probably mostly eat fruit. The other one's like, oh, it's going to eat you. So, you know, watch out. I don't know, hikers beware. Overall, though, the woods devil is very shy and secretive, and it avoids human contact as much as possible. Me too, wood devil. Me too.
I feel you.
It uses its agility and intelligence to hide behind trees or other objects, and then it will silently move through the forest.
Intelligence to hide behind trees. It's like,
Or stand still.
I just picture, like, a deer standing in the middle of the road, staring ahead like...
He's so skinny and upright. It's not a deer who's, like, you know, feet long behind a skinny tree. But they are mostly nocturnal, but they can be active during the day. People have seen them during the daytime as well. So, like deer and like bear. Now, there have been a lot of reports of wood devils, so I got a whole bunch for you, so you can hear the different ones from New Hampshire. So some of the earliest reports, as I said, date back to the 1930s and 40s, but the biggest ones happened in the 40s and 50s. So several hunters claimed to have seen or heard the creature in the woods. One of them was George Lavoie, who said he saw a tall, hairy creature standing behind a tree near his hunting camp in 1948. He described it as having a horse-like face and gray hair. He fired his rifle, but he missed it.
I was there cooking my beans on the fire, and I heard...
Okay, now you're in the Pine Barrens, because that is the Jersey Devil. He later found large footprints near the tree. Another hunter was Robert Goulet, and he said he heard a loud scream while hunting near Dixville Notch in 1952. He followed the sound and saw a large creature running away on 2 legs. He described it as being about 8 feet tall and having gray hair. He also fired his rifle at it, but missed. So, I guess New Hampshire, we just aren't really good at shooting.
It looked weird, so I shot at it.
That's any local. It doesn't matter where you're from. I had a gun. I shot.
Like, there are, what was the last census? 970 some people in our town?
Yep.
And, pretty sure there are probably 1,500 guns in this town.
At least double. Everyone needs at least 2. In more recent years, though, sightings of the wood devil have continued to occur sporadically, and not just in Coos County, but also in other parts of New Hampshire. Some of them have been reported by outdoorsmen, hikers, campers, drivers, and residents who have encountered the creature or its signs. So again, like, footprints.
Yeah.
So here are just some examples of stories I pulled. I kind of went like in a timeline order.
Okay.
So in 1942, there was a hunter named George Wentworth. Sorry, I hear the song in my head. J.G. Wentworth. But anyway, George Wentworth claimed to have shot and wounded a wood devil near Dixville Notch. He said that the creature was about 8 feet tall and weighed about 400 pounds. He followed its blood trail for a while, but lost it in the thick brush. In 1973, a group of hikers near Mount Cabot reported seeing a large hairy creature standing on 2 legs behind a tree. They said that it was about 7 feet tall and had grayish-brown fur. They also noticed a very strong odor coming from it.
We can see you!
Worst hide and seek ever.
Do you think you can see us? Can you see me?
Reminds me of me and Ashley. All right,
You're right over there!
In 1977, a man named John Horrigan claimed he saw a large hairy creature cross Route 3 near Pittsburgh at night. He said it was about 7 feet tall and had gray hair. Now, this Pittsburgh does not have an H at the end. It's not our Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania.
The song's stuck in my head now.
Oh, boy. In 1983, a woman named Linda Newton Perry claimed she saw a large hairy creature standing behind a tree near her home in Colebrook. She said it was about 8 feet tall and had tan hair. Again, they're all behind trees. They gotta, again, really bad at hiding, I guess.
Very voyeuristic animals.
Now, to make it more recent, in 1994, a man named Bill Braun claimed he saw a large, hairy creature run across the road. So kind of fun. In 1997, a man named Bill Driscoll was driving on Route 26 near Errol when he saw something cross the road in front of him. He said that it was about 9 feet tall and had long arms and legs. It had gray fur and a human-like face. It looked at him briefly before disappearing into the woods. So Bill Driscoll's story is pretty much the most recent one that we have. Okay. But there's a really cool one that I just found online today, and I wanted to read it for you because this is a pretty new one. And it's from a photographer. Now, he only goes by his first name, Will. But this is his story.
Did he get a picture of it?
Well, let's read the story.
Okay.
All right. So he said, I enjoy photographing the outdoors and try to get out at least once during each season. It was the fall of the year, and I had seen several moose along the Pontook Reservoir and the Androscoggin River, so I decided to try and get a few photographs. I parked off of Berlin Road and walked into the woods east of the dam. I walked about 1,000 feet or so. It was very dense and the light was low, so I decided to get closer to the lake where I could pick up some better light. As I turned north, I heard a cracking sound behind me. I turned to see what it was, but saw nothing, so I started to walk toward the area where the sound came from. I hadn't walked far when I saw something tall and thin dart from behind a sugar maple tree and quickly disappear. I stood for a minute, and again this thing came from behind a large maple tree and then vanished again. I tried to get a photograph, but the darn thing was fast and nothing ever showed up on the shot. It didn't show itself any more that day. I went back to the location a couple more times, but never witnessed this thing again. There are a lot of legends my father would tell us as kids, but I really never gave it much thought. Some of the people around here used to talk about wood devils in the White Mountains, but I've never heard about anybody seeing one or anything similar to what I saw. The thing was about 7 foot tall, dark thick fur or hair, and very thin. Much thinner than a normal man at that height. Like I said, it was very fast and nimble. I never heard a sound other than the footsteps it made when moving. So what do you think about that?
That's pretty creepy.
Right? And I like all the detail to it as well.
Yeah.
I feel, of course, you can't get a picture, so maybe he was lying. We don't know. But
Yeah, like, seriously? You're a photographer. You have a pretty darn good camera.
you have one job.
You can take, like, 20 pictures a second. Just aim and shoot.
Maybe he's one of those old-fashioned ones because he wants to be like,
Oh, he's one of those people.
Yeah, being all fetch or whatever. Fetch isn't going to work. We're not going to get that word to work. How's that line go?
I don't know what you're talking
Stop
about.
trying to make fetch a thing. It's from Mean Girls.
Oh, yeah. I definitely don't.
Well, anyway. So what are your thoughts? Do you think that this thing exists?
I mean, maybe. Like, it's... If there are Bigfoot things, which I have a hard time believing in. Like, even Jersey Devil, like, I don't believe in it. I just love the stories. But if there are, I could definitely picture them, like, not studying, but, like, just watching humans from half behind a tree,
Like we watch deer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, the whole mannerisms aspect of them, I get, and that's believable for sure. I just don't know.
I think it's funny that it screams and runs away.
I know.
Oh no. I mean, I'm from New Hampshire, so I want to believe that they're real. However, I don't really believe in cryptids, so it's just a fun story for me.
I mean, if we, like, there are parts of, forests and everything, that we just literally cannot explore because we can't get to those places, whether they're on, like, mountains or wherever. So, like, who's to say, or they're just so big that we can't be in the same spot as these things at, any given time. So maybe they are out there.
Well, and they could be like deer where when you go find them, they can get themselves to ground so you can't see them.
Yeah.
Beside hiding behind a tree. Maybe they like hide in little dens and stuff. Because if you try to go out finding a deer, it's pretty hard because they hear you coming and they hide.
Yeah.
So I'm
Get
not...
in a car, though.
We'll just drive
you'll find them.
Well, let's see. What different roads were mentioned here? Because I know they mentioned Route 2, Route 26. So we just hop on. We'll just, we'll drive. We got this.
Yeah.
Yep. Got some places
I don't know. What do you think?
See, I want to believe because I'm from New Hampshire, but I never saw one.
Well, obviously.
I think there's more to, like, the woods and to the ocean than we have explored or seen.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't, like, ever negate an animal. Like the Wendigo, I think there's more for, because there's so, like, there actually are Native American names for the wood devil too. I just didn't toss it in because this is a short mini episode,
Yeah.
So I'm more inclined to believe in these kinds of creatures if there is a Native American connection. So for Bigfoot, I'm not necessarily against it, nor Sasquatch, now the wood devil, the Wendigo, just because there's so many different stories. But I'm hard pressed. Like I'm a person, I need to see it to believe it,
Yeah.
So I guess we'll have to go to New Hampshire. We'll hop down to the ocean, get some good, lobster right off the dock, and then head up into the woods. That's what we'll do.
Oh, speaking of, I saw the most hilarious video on YouTube of a quote-unquote Sasquatch sighting.
Ooh.
Where it was a guy in a white Yeti outfit holding what was obviously a doll of some kind dressed in children's clothes to make it look like he's, 9 feet tall. And it's holding the doll by the head, and it's just flopping around, and he's, like, smacking it into trees and stuff. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing.
Well, I don't think these guys would do that. According to one source, maybe, because they're carnivores, but most, they're going to run away screaming. This Friday, so in just 2 days, we're going to be at Penhurst, so
excited.
I know.
And we have coverage. I looked. So live stream is probably going to happen.
Yay! So we'll be doing that. We'll be there until 2 or 3 a.m., so it's really exciting. We're going to be there all night. We'll come home, and then Carrie and Tom have offered to come help go through all the footage and everything.
Yeah, we'll probably take naps, and then
we're going to sleep.
Start around noon or so with the footage.
So hopefully we can get some stuff put up on Sunday for you guys, but, I also have family coming in from Texas, so.
Yeah, it might be A little late getting
Yeah,
the
like,
next episode out.
We told you, just, August, when August comes around, we'll be back to normal, but we got a lot of stuff happening.
Yep.
And it is confirmed on October 19th, we'll be in Waynesburg. It is official. I have touched base with Kevin Paul. Our convention will be at EQT Rec Center in Waynesburg. It'll be noon to 5. So it's happening. That's the venue. That's the place. October 19th, we will be there speaking about our experiences.
So excited about that too.
I know. So, yep. So we got Penhurst happening. Then we got our speech happening. And then hopefully we're going to go visit some other places because Carrie's found all these cool places to go.
Yeah, we are visiting another place in early August.
Yep.
And that one's going to be real.
That's a secret.
That's going to be a really interesting episode.
Yes.
I can't wait for that one.
That one's our secret.
Yes.
Yeah. So I didn't mention it because that's just a happiness coming down the line.
I know.
So, so a lot of big stuff happening here for the Well House Exorcism. As always, thank you guys for listening. Really appreciate it. You give us a lot of good ideas, and I just love how much this has grown because of your word of mouth. So
keep spreading the word.
Yes, please. I want to make this my full-time job.
Absolutely.
So, find us on Instagram as Well House Exorcism. Find us on Twitter X as wellhouse_exorc, or on Facebook under Games Overboard, because again, we're a subsidiary. Always feel free to hop on our website as well, which is gamesoverboard.com. And please email us. We want to hear from you.
Mm-hmm.
Just like right now, Steve Smith and I are trying to set up a Zoom time so you can tell us spooky stories for us. So we got stuff. Yeah, we got stuff we want to do. Get her on down the line. All right.
Yeah.
So
we have people talking on our Facebook all the time. Every episode,
Mm-hmm.
we have people commenting underneath the episode announcements and things like that. So please join in. If you're not on Facebook, hop on Instagram like Steve does,
Mm-hmm.
or email us. So,
But we're old. We like Facebook.
yeah,
I live by Facebook.
we were around when Facebook started.
Back in my day.
And I said, I don't need that. I have MySpace.
I miss MySpace. So, in any case, thank you all for being wonderful. And as always,
Think spooky thoughts.